Boys and girls, welcome back to another story time with Teacher Kate in Kate's Kindergarten. I'm so happy you are here with me today because we are going to learn about the letter C today. The letter C is just one stroke. You start at the top, down, around, and back up. And the lowercase c looks just like the uppercase C. And you do the same thing. Start right here, come down and around and make the letter C. You never start at the bottom and go up. You always start at the top and go down. The letter C says K, K. So when you see the word cookie or cat, they all start with the letter C. And I have some books that I'd like to share with you today that start with the letter C. The Very Hungry Caterpillar is one of my all-time favorite books by Eric Carle. And his last name also starts with a C. This book has been well loved. You can see the binding, the bindings falling apart a little bit. My kids all read this book. I read this to them when they were little. This is the story, The Very Hungry Caterpillar. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up, and pop, out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. It started to look for some food. On Monday, it ate through one apple, but it was still hungry. Now, if you notice a pattern with these words, you can kind of read along with me. I bet you're going to notice there's a pattern. On Tuesday, it ate through two pears, but it was still hungry. On Wednesday, it ate through three plums, but it was still hungry. On Thursday, it ate through four strawberries. 1, 2, 3, 4 strawberries. But, say it with me, it was still hungry. On Friday, it ate through 5 oranges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 oranges. But you're never going to believe it. He was still hungry. That happened on a Friday. Oh my goodness gracious. You are never going to believe what happens on Saturday. Brace yourself. Be prepared. Oh my goodness. On Saturday, he ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream cone, 1 pickle, 1 slice of Swiss cheese, 1 slice of salami, 1 lollipop, 1 piece of cherry pie, 1 sausage, 1 cupcake, 1 slice of watermelon. Ooh, that night he had a tummy ache. You can see how it feels like, ooh, maybe I ate too much. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through 1 nice green leaf, and after that, he felt much better. Now, he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big, fat caterpillar. He built a small house called a cocoon around himself. He stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. Do you know how many days that is? How many days is 2 weeks? That is 14 days. Then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon, pushed his way out, and he was a beautiful butterfly. And that's the story, The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. Remember, caterpillar starts with C, which says caterpillar. And now I'm going to read you a story about a bear named Corduroy. Corduroy starts with the letter C. Corduroy is a bear who lived in the toy department of a big store. Day after day, he waited with all the other animals and dolls for someone to come along and take him home. The store was always filled with shoppers buying all sorts of things, but no one ever seemed to want a small bear in green overalls. Then one morning, a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes. "Oh, Mommy," she said, "look, there is the very bear I've always wanted." "Not today, dear," her mother sighed. "I've spent too much already. Besides, he doesn't look new. He lost the button to one of his shoulder straps." Oh, no. Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away. "I didn't know I'd lost a button," Corduroy said to himself. "Tonight I'll go and see if I can find it." Late that evening, when all the shoppers had gone and the doors were shut and locked, Corduroy climbed carefully down from his shelf and began searching everywhere on the floor for his lost button. Suddenly, he felt the floor moving from under him. Quite by accident, he'd stepped onto an escalator. Up, up, up he went. Could this be a mountain, he wondered? I think I've always wanted to climb a mountain. He's not on a mountain, is he? No. He stepped off the escalator as it reached the next floor, and there before his eyes was a most amazing sight. Tables and chairs and lamps and sofas and rows of beds. "This must be a palace," Corduroy gasped. "I guess I've always wanted to live in a palace." Is it really a palace? Where is Corduroy? He's in the department store in the bed section, isn't he? He's not really in a palace. He wandered around admiring the furniture. "This must be a bed," he said. "I've always wanted to sleep in a bed." And up he crawled onto a large, thick mattress. All at once, he saw something small and round. "Why, here's my button," he cried. And he tried to pick it up. But like all the other buttons on the mattress, it was tied down tightly. Is that Corduroy's button? No, it isn't, is it? Those are the buttons that go on the mattress, but it does look an awful lot like his button. He yanked and pulled with both paws until pop! Off came the button, and off the mattress Corduroy toppled. Bang! Into a tall floor lamp. Over it fell with a crash. Corduroy didn't know it, but there was someone else awake in the store. The night watchman was doing his rounds on the floor above. When he heard the crash, he came dashing down the escalator. "Now who in the world did that?" he exclaimed. "Somebody must be hiding around here." He flashed his light under and over sofas and beds until he came to the biggest bed of all. And there he saw 2 fuzzy brown ears sticking up from under the covers. "Hello," he said. "How did you get upstairs?" The watchman tucked Corduroy under his arm and carried him down the escalator and set him on the shelf in the toy department with the other animals and dolls. Oh my goodness. You're never going to believe this. There's someone to see Corduroy the next morning in the store. Who do you think it is? Who do you think might be coming to see him? Well, if you said the little girl from the day before, you would have been right. Corduroy was just waking up when the first customers came into the store in the morning, and there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he'd seen only the day before. "I'm Lisa," she said, "and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night I counted what I saved in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home." "Shall I put him in a box for you?" the sales lady asked. "Oh, no, thank you," said Lisa. She carried Corduroy home in her arms. She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs into her family's apartment and straight to her own room. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers, and alongside a girl-sized bed stood a little bed just the right size for him. The room was small, nothing like that enormous palace in the department store. "This must be home," he said. "I know I've always wanted a home." How do you think Corduroy felt when Lisa came to get him at the store and brought him home? What adjective do you think would describe how Corduroy was feeling? I think maybe at first he was surprised, and now I think he's feeling excited and happy. Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button on his overalls. "I like you the way you are," she said, "but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened." "You must be a friend," Corduroy said. "I've always wanted a friend." "Me too," said Lisa, and she gave him a big hug. I'm going to give this book a big hug because I feel like books are my friends. I love books. They're a great way to share stories with other people, and I'm so glad that you came today to share these stories with me and to learn about the letter C and that the fact that it says k, k, k. I'll see you soon, boys and girls. Have a great day.